Well, folks, it's time to wrap up another day. May the 6th has come to a close, and we had another pretty good day of trading. A couple of markets didn't cooperate with us volatility-wise, but we got the direction right on all of our markets except for crude. And our number 2 levels kicked in and yielded profitable trades off of that too. So we can't ever control the volatility. You just have to take good trades, and sometimes the market will move sideways, and you wonder why you didn't make any money, but markets move, then they pause, and then they move again. So you just happen to be trading in one of those pause areas. Okay, our premise this morning when we started out was that we were at the top of the trading range. It had held, and we wanted to get short because we were at the top of a trading range. And when you look at all the news, even though we've had really, really strong headlines, when you looked at the paragraphs beneath the news headlines, they had to do a lot of fudging, a lot of smoothing, a lot of seasonal adjustment to get to the numbers that they did do. Even the ISM services numbers showed that employment had fallen. And yet where does the strong number come from? Working people, overtime, I guess. So the idea was to get short because we were at the top of a trading range, with the ultimate objective down here perhaps this 40 area. We had to break this low volume number at 65, 67. As long as we stay below 65, 67, this market can sell. We have yesterday's lows down here, 60, 62 will be the next area to come out, then the low number at 55, 56, and then we have our attractor at 40. So if the market were to close right here, it would say sell a rally to see if we can extend the range lower. So the idea of the premise to get short because we were at the top of the trading range has proven to be true. And that's always gratifying from my standpoint. And based on the reports from some of you in the room, you've done quite well trading today. Okay, we came in looking at the overnight analysis. We had a B pattern. Wanted to get short. We have another B. And even though the market did rally back to 75.50, we had another B pattern. The market comes to balance and creates a new distribution lower. So here we sit trading at 65, and this is a pretty clean break in the market, say 65 to 68. So if the market were to close right here, we'd like to sell the 68 to 70 area. That would be sell 1. Sell 2 would be where it was this morning, 75, 77. We started off wanting to sell 79s to 80s, but we lowered that to 75. 77, and we had a high and deep period of 75.50. Started out this morning wanting to buy 70 to 72s. It produced trade, took the market back to 75.50. Then the market sold, and the first stop was 64.25, followed by just below 62. On the buy side, I think we go a little bit lower, but because it is the overnight session, there's not a lot of news tomorrow. We'll make buy 160, 62, leaning against this low, and then the second buy is going to be 55, 57. But if this were the day session, we'd be trying to buy 50s, 52s, and 55s, 57s, not 60s, 62s. But because it is the overnight session, we usually don't have all that much volatility. That's why we're raising our buy. Okay, as far as the Ukraine goes, Secretary of State Kerry came out and said, by golly, Russia does not accede to our wishes and stop causing trouble in the Ukraine. We are going to escalate our sanctions once again. I think Russia's wondering what sanctions have been imposed on them today. But we do have to watch that, and if fighting erupts breaks out in Ukraine, the index should be lower off that news. So that's another aspect we'll have to work into our trading formulas. Okay, looking at the note, we liked the note this morning because it was 3-year auction day. We wanted to buy into weakness. We had hoped to buy in the 13-17 range, and maybe a little cheaper, but 17 was pretty much it. 3-year took the market up a couple hours. Actually before lunch we said look for the market to close in the 24-20 area. We thought the auction would get done in the 19-20 area. The auction was done at 19.5, and the close of the day session was 24-20. So our assessment on the note is, I mean, it's a rare day that we don't catch the range, we don't catch the direction and where it's going to close. And we're not perfect, but it is a rare day that that happens. So on this screen, we've got a lower high and a lower low. This says we can be sellers. We go to our F2 screen. Jimmy, I saw the knob spread had gotten out to what, 14? Must be playing the 10 and 30-year auction. I mean, that's just our fallback play. Auction week, buy the knob spread. Definitely no later than Tuesday. Thanks, Jimmy. Jimmy trades the E-mini. He just needs something to talk to amongst his circle of friends. And they all get together in kibitz and put their heads together and discuss the knob spread in depth. And Jimmy turns out usually to be the most popular guy at the party because most people would like to know what the knob spread's doing. I'm teasing you, Jimmy. Okay, resistance is 24-28. Selling failure to take out 24-28 is the obvious trade, and then 31-03. I think we're going to be dealing with an auction where we see 3 higher auction prices. So want to buy into weakness. And we closed at 20. We got our 4-letter ledge at 17.5. We have our low at 14, so let's make 14 to 18 buy 1. Basically, I'm going to try to buy against 16, and then buy 2 will make 8 to 12. The news is pretty limited tomorrow. We've got preliminary productivity at minus 1.2, unit labor costs at 2.5, then crude inventories. So not much help from the news. And that even makes the buy easier to put on in the financials because of the lack of news. Looking at the ZB. So our first 2 markets, our major markets that we call, we got the direction right, and after 1 adjustment, we got the levels right. Not bad, if I do say so myself. Okay, the 30-year, the knob spread widened. We started out this morning hoping to buy 13s to 17s, and it was just off to the races as the big boys came in and bought it. So couldn't buy this one on the cheap. We're able to buy the 10-year note on the cheap because of the knob spread expansion. So the 10-year was a little softer than the 30-year, but it took off right on the opening. Did not look back. And the official day session close was 02, which is where we are right now. So we're going to sell failure to take out our 4 to 8 level. It's probably the easiest trade to see. SLF, and then 11s to 15s leaning against 16, which has proven to be pretty formidable resistance. On the buy side, we've got volume at 28. We closed at 02. Maybe 25s to 29s. It is the 10-year. We quite often find some selling in the overnight market, so we'll put 25s to 29s. And then 21s to 17s. Would like to buy into weakness because I think all 3 auctions are going to be up, but if there was going to be a weak auction, it would be the 10-year. Gold, hard to know what's going to happen. Really, really quiet. Not much going on there. Not much to work with. Gold's kind of slowing down. We don't have the large institutions accumulating. They tend to be feeding into rallies. We do have retail accounts still buying gold. We have people who sell physical gold to retail accounts, heavily advertising gold going to 2,000 sometime this year. Take a pretty obvious piece of news to start that. So we got really good support, 3 to 5. And then we'll make it 98 to the buck for buy 2. On the sell side, we're going to leave it 10 to 13, dealing with a P. And then our 15 to 17, which has produced a couple of good trades for us. So probably take something out of the Ukraine to get things stirred up. In gold. Looking at crude. Crude is just, if you want to make some money quickly and you want to get into it, crude is one of those contracts you should look at. You can be wrong 2 or 3 times and still make your business plan. So we definitely have a seller against 150. We've got the Ukraine hanging over our head. Don't know what's going to happen there. Different reports about how many have been killed and who did the killing. Don't really know for sure and probably won't. So we're going to sell 1/4 to 1/2 and then 75 to 101 for sell 2. On the buy side, I'd still like to buy cheaper. We have tried resistance, so maybe we'll go down and try support. What do you think? So we'll make 99.99 1/4 buy 1, and then 50 to 75 buy 2. Okay, the euro, peace between the Ukraine, no blow up over there. Energy supplies still flowing to Europe. Germany is the most reluctant imposer of sanctions on the Russians because 30% of their energy comes from Russia and they have a lot of manufacturing business ties with Russia. And most people think capitalist-based countries are, the businessmen are really ardent capitalists. They're not. They're fascists. They don't want any competition. They want everything the same. They want to be able to cut favorable relationships. They want to be able to eliminate competition. And they're fighting innovators all the time, those that are at the top of the pyramid. So German businesses siding with Russia would make perfect sense under that model. We wanted to sell 45s to 55s this morning. We'll keep it. Then we'll make 70 plus or minus 5 for sell 2. On the buy side, I thought we could buy a little cheaper, our sell 2, but our 15 to 25 is support. So we got a mixed profile right here. Let's make 15 to the buck, buy 1. And then 75 to 85, buy 2. It's strong. If we come down and we can't crack 15, you just got to get long. And as much as Mario would like to see the market come down, he hasn't been very effective in selling that to currency traders around the world. In fact, squeezing Mario seems to be what the play is. Catching all those people that take his word on the wrong side of the market, hammering them. Nah, they wouldn't do that. Okay, I'm going to turn off the recording.